Yo guys, welcome back. It is Ripe again, back with more ProRevenge. But before we start, I would like to ask you for a favor. More than 50% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So in case you enjoy my content, please feel free to subscribe. But now, without wasting any more time, let's dive right in. 6th grade girl bullies get destroyed. When I was in the 3rd grade, there were a bunch of notorious bullies. A bunch of 6th grade girls who thought they were hot crap. They were always pushing the little kids in elementary around, shoving them out of their way and generally making their lives miserable. Remember that girls tend to be quite a bit bigger than boys at that age, so when you are a shrimpy 8-year-old boy who is about 4 feet and 2 inches tall, a 5 feet 2 inch girl's one-handed shove might as well been a mountain giant swatting a flea. One day, after being unceremoniously shoved sprawling out of the way in the halls of the school, I had enough. I stood up and told the girls that we were all sick of them, and if they wanted to fight, they would get one. This resulted in spontaneous fits of laughter. I told them that we would meet at the end of lunch behind the hill by the playground where the teachers could not see, and we would fight. But not just me and the shover. I told her to bring all her bully friends because they were all going to get it. Me and my friends versus her and her friends. They scoffed and said I was a dead man and walked away, talking about the ridiculous beating they were going to dish out on us wimps. First recess, I talked to my male classmate friends. They agreed they were sick of being bullied and would all fight. But we knew we didn't stand a chance unless we got more help. So we hatched a plan. Not just my friends, not just all the boys in my class or even in my grade. Every boy in the school, in grade 3 or lower, we split into 2 groups and started recruiting. Word started getting around there was going to be a big fight. Lunch rolls around and we are scouring the playground. Japanese kid practicing high kicks? Come practice on the grade 6 girls. These girls had earned a lot of animosity throughout the year and we had no problem getting everyone into our cloud of kids. By the time all my friends had met up, it felt like we had a monstrous, unstoppable army. In reality, it was probably close to 60 to 70 kids. Some who didn't even want to fight, but who came to see what the fuss was all about. When I got to the top of that hill, it was like Aegon the Conqueror blazing his standard. Our swarm crested that hill, causing those 8 girls to just blanch, turn white and freeze in place. We did not even give them a chance to surrender and just charged down that hill at full speed. Some of them screamed as they were being bounced around like ping pong balls by the stream of little bodies throwing themselves at them. All of them were knocked down, standing over a screeching girl who I had just bowled over. Hearing her screech while she was getting pummeled by tiny fists and feet, I felt a great glory wash over me. I surveyed the chaos with pride as the girls started getting up and fleeing in tears. All the boys in our class were called into the principal's office. Afterwards, 8 of us were given week-long after-school detentions and our parents were called. The teacher was sympathetic as she knew of the bullying and the detention was just free play with my close pals who pulled this off. You know, when I witnessed bullying in my school, the thing that angered me the most are not the bullies themselves, but the teachers who rarely do something. And I'm fairly certain that many people have a story to tell about teachers who don't care about things like bullying. But let's move on. Mistake me for a preteen and try to bully me at Target? I would squeal on you to your moms and coach. To preface, I'm a really short and skinny 20-something who could pass for a 12-year-old easy. This is relevant, I promise. A while back when this happened, I was at Target with my younger sister waiting for our nail appointment. Normal day sister bonding stuff. I think it was 30 minutes in when we found some ugly jackets in the menswear section and started trying them on for fun. Next thing I know, 3 girls in volleyball uniform surround us. First thing I notice is 2 of the 3 girls were filming us while one girl is asking rapid fire questions while holding a jacket up. I was so surprised and sort of speechless. My sister was also sort of stunned and silent the whole time. Random girl,
Hey, do you think this looks good on me?
Holds the jacket up. Me, sure, I guess. Random girl.
Really?
Me, yes.
Okay, buy it for me.
Are you serious?
You said you thought it looked good. Buy it for me.
Me, no. We sort of went back and forth of me saying no and her insisting I buy her the jacket. Her friends filming also pitched in, saying I should buy her the jacket and saying if I don't buy her the jacket, then I lied about it looking good on her. So what? Can someone explain to me why they did this? Is this some sort of social media prank? At the same time, I'm slowly walking out of the menswear section and pushing my sister, trying to get away. I could see my little sister was super uncomfortable and I know she's kind of shy, so this is really mortifying for her. That made me angry. It also occurred to me that they must think I'm some sort of preteen like them because I cannot fathom these types of kids bothering anybody with a single hair of puberty. Honestly, they were all pudgy little a-hole 10-year-olds. Meanwhile, I am wearing my crooked glasses, messy jeans and a YMCA summer camp shirt. And I don't know why I even own this t-shirt since I never went to their summer camp. My little sister is also wearing her middle school track shirt, so both of us look like kids. Kids like them. In my most grown-ass voice I could muster, I say, "What the F is wrong with you shits? I'm 20 years old. Do you think this is funny? What the F is wrong with you kids? Where's your moms?" In my best I need to speak to a manager voice, I ask my sister,
"Go find an employee."
My sister takes off running. This is where the girls stop laughing and start telling me to chill out and it's just a prank which only makes me angrier. I go in on them about how so stupid they are being and how harassing strangers is decidedly not funny. I throw in some choice swear words and I can hear my crazy voice getting higher and angrier. I pull my phone out and start recording them and laughing manically, saying, "You think this is funny? Haha." I think this is where they started getting worried because they took off. I tried following them, but then an employee following my sister appeared. I go on to explain how we were shopping and suddenly harassed by these 3 girls trying to force us to buy them things and filming us. I think I also tear up and the employee radios his manager. I repeat my story and show them the photos I took of these little shits without my crazy video. Next thing I know, those a-hole kids are rounded up and surrounded by a couple employees and a really annoyed mom. I walk past and tell them to F off and drag my sister to our nail appointment. But I wasn't done. They were wearing bright yellow volleyball jerseys with their club names. I Google and find said club and blast any email I can find. And I also message their Facebook. But I'm still not done. I go on social media and stalk through their photos. I find the club's Instagram and after some work I find their friends who have tagged some moms. Through those moms I find their moms. I cross-reference Facebook and see the girls' parents with pictures of their families. I confirm the faces of the little a-holes and I blast their social media with my
disappointed and upset grown-up voice.
I include their pictures and I also find the mom who was chaperoning the kids and I blast her too. So I wait. And within hours I have a reply from the director of the volleyball club and replies from 2 of the parents. The mom who was chaperoning, funnily enough, blocked me. I never got a direct apology from those shits, but I hope having a stranger hunting them down and contacting people from their lives scared them straight. To top it off, I posted a glowing review of the Target on how they handled the situation with little shits' faces. A week later, one of the dads asks me to take it down, so I oblige. He asked very nicely, and the lesson is, don't be little shits to people. You know, sometimes when people post really stupid shit online, for example racist comments on Facebook, to do something similar. But then again, this is kinda creepy to be honest, and it's usually not worth your time. But you still have to appreciate it, how this girl took some pro-revenge in order to defend her sister. My revenge on my boss for trying to take my pay. This is a long one from a few years back when I was a teen working at a generic fast food restaurant while in school. I was 16 at the time and had been working at this store for a year or so. We had this supervisor who was just horrible to work for. He would leave us while we were packed with customers and sit on his phone talking the whole shift, only come out to bark orders and abuse us for not working hard enough, and then eat the food we were cooking, and when customers complained, he would belittle us in front of them, blaming our attitudes. Now everyone hated this guy. Even the supervisors hated him. He was lazy, and to be completely honest, I think he only had the job because his uncle owned the store. He would come in to start his shift, plant his ass in the office, and wouldn't come out unless it was to tell you how crap you are and how he is not afraid to replace you. We were all teens working that needed the money for our families, and he knew this and would hold our jobs over our head. The store was in a bad area and we were all either supporting our families or trying to stay out of gangs and whatnot. The store is open until late, so we can get good hours in after school. Well, this one particular night we were very short-handed. It was me, my workmate Joe, and supervisor. Me and Joe assumed he would back us up and serve customers while I cooked, and Joe made all the burgers and wraps. But no, he came in, planted his ass in the office, and told me to cook as well as do burgers and wraps, and Joe will serve. I protested and said it was too much for me to cover, but he completely ignores me and acts as if he did not hear a word I said. So I protest a little louder, and no joke, he turns to me and says,
"Well, if you don't like it, you can kiss this job goodbye."
I bit my tongue and returned to my duties, pissed off. Joe was pissed off too, and he knew that if Supervisor ran things this way, he would receive all the abuse as he was the person out front serving. Like I said, we were in a bad area. Customers often came in drunk and irritable, and there's often fights, and we get a lot of homeless people loitering and junkies. He knew he was going to get abused by someone tonight who would possibly throw something at him. Fast forward a few hours into our shift and we are in the middle of our dinner rush. There is a crap load of orders to be made and not enough meat cooked to make it all. Customers are complaining about waiting times, and I can hear Joe out the front getting absolutely destroyed by the growing mob of angry customers whom he's doing his best to keep calm. Supervisor, for the first time the entire shift, comes out to see what's happening. He sees the mob of angry customers who are starting to shout in anger, hurling insults and all, and he goes out to confront them and calls me to the front. As soon as I am inside of the mob and supervisor, he starts to berate me, throwing 1,000 questions at me at once.
"Why isn't this done? Why isn't that done?"
And he abused me further. Then calls Joe over, abuses us both, and tells the customers that he's sorry we are so incompetent, and pulls us both out back.
"If you two don't lift your game, you won't be working here any longer. And just because you fell so far behind, I'm taking tonight's pay from you."
At this point, I wanted to kill him. We were working our asses off while short-handed, and he did not lift a finger to help us. I would not let this slide. It lit a fire in me, and I was going to make sure I got paid for tonight, no matter what. So I plotted, I planned, I concocted a most evil plan in my pot of payback potions, and would soon conjure it into existence. I even asked Joe for help with it, and he agreed willingly once I told him the plan. This would make us legends of our store. Executing the plan, after the rush was over and we were about to close shop, I went on my break. Remember how I said we had a lot of homeless people loitering? Well, I'm thankful we did. While I was on my break, I convinced a homeless man to come and take a dump in the urinal in our bathroom, and I would get him some free food. And excuse me for interrupting, but I just want to say I'm very sorry for those bird noises, but if I close my window, I will suffocate in here. He laughed at me first and asked if I was serious. It took a little convincing, as he could not believe someone was asking him to do something he usually does without being asked or offered food for. He agrees after a bit, but I told him I would have to sneak him in with the help of Joe. I bring him to the slide doors and signal Joe to distract the supervisor long enough for him to turn his head from the computer screen and cameras. We slip in and make it to the bathroom. When we get there, I tell him to go in and do the deed while I go make his food. He giggles and agrees and heads in. I headed to the kitchen where Joe is and tell him the job is underway and I will need a distraction to get him out once he's done. Joe tells me he will go to tell supervisor that he's leaving, as it will give me a moment to get him back out quick. I make the guy's food and head back to the bathroom entrance, but he's still not out. I was waiting a good 10 minutes and he had been in there over 20 minutes. When he exited, I catched a whiff of the most foul odor seeping from the bathroom. What the hell, dude? What did you do in there? He tells me he may have missed a bit, but the job is done more or less. I give his food to him and signal Joe to distract again. Once he does, I sneak the old guy out of the store and thank him for his help, to which he replies, "I've been asked to do some weird shit, but you kids are messed up." I was not about to let him steal my pay from me, as I was going to make him pay for it. I head back to the bathroom to check, and I tell you, I couldn't have asked the guy to do a better job. I was aiming for a stool in a puddle, but this was something else. It had overflown out of the urinal, down the wall and on the floor, and it was everywhere. Joe swings by on his way out and could not believe what he was seeing. I shook his hand and said to him, "It was a pleasure to work with you and good luck." He leaves and I go to confront supervisor. Once I reached the office, I let everything go on him. I swore at him, told him I quit, and Joe's gone home, I'm leaving, and nothing has been cleaned for clothes, and someone took a crap in the urinal again. He begged me not to leave while I laughed at him manically. I told him to piss off. "You want to take my pay? Take the job too. Have fun scraping poop off the wall." I threw my shirt at him, walked out, and never went back. I heard from Joe that supervisor was there all night cleaning everything and was forced to clean the bathroom. Everyone except supervisor knows what I did and cheered for me for doing it. I went down in store history for the next year, because it closed after that and was replaced by another generic fast food store. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I think that it's definitely not legal for a supervisor to say,
"You're not getting paid for tonight."
I think the OP could have gone right to a lawyer with that and turn it into a huge settlement. But obviously, if you are young, you would not think of something like that. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the content for today. Please remember to leave a like to help me out and also subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching and I hope you have a great day, and I see you in around 6 to 7 hours when I upload the second video for today.